Exciting time. We just had our banquet over the weekend. I think it's always kind of the first sign that the season is like really, really here. And we put in a lot of effort and time to get that event off to a great start and just to have a great time. We had Lauren Bay here. It's always great to celebrate our former players here or people that have made a huge impact on our program. And so it was great to have Lauren and her family back here, see our girls all dressed up, and just celebrate them. So it was a great night, great event. And, now we're in game week. So we're excited about this week. There's a lot going on, a little bit more than normal for a Monday, but I think that just tells us that the season's here and we're ready to start. So a little bit about this team. I've been pretty open, like I normally am, about our team, if it's good or bad. And I think we're really good. I've said that from day one. It's the most talented team that we've assembled in our 7 years. Great people, great softball players, great staff. Our staff just continues to grow. We keep being enabled by our administration to grow our staff inside, and it just helps. And the commitment here has been great. So this team, with COVID and all the extra years that these kids have been granted, I think is going to make the softball game really, really good the next 3 to 4 years because of the experience that we're going to have on the fields across the country. So for our team, it's great to get kids like Busby and Pennington and Alexander and Morgan Day. Hope I haven't left any one of those guys out, but gives them this extra year to play, to compete, to be around their teammates, our program, the impact that they have around here in OSU is great. And so we're excited about them. This is the deepest team that we've had. Pitching, lineup, defense, bench. I can't recall a time when we've had this, and I've been in a lot of good programs, and I don't know that I've ever been in a program. I've been in a place, obviously, all you guys know that we won 2 titles, and we didn't have a roster like this. So I think now it's in these kids' hands to make sure that it's the best team, not just the most talented group. So we need to become the best team. We're well on our way on that. I don't want to make it sound like we're not in a great spot. We're in a great spot, but we've got to continue that. We haven't put up a lineup yet. And when you put up a lineup and you get pinch hit for, or you get taken out of a game, that seems to kind of change things on any team in any sport. So we'll find out how strong, how together, how committed we all are when all that stuff happens for the first time. So which will be Thursday night. So, but just up and down this roster experience. Postseason experience, World Series experience, Super Regional experience, everything. We've got all of it. And we've got another really good team right down the road, so we know what that's like. We know we're not, the only great team around here, but we feel like we're a great team. We're just excited about what that brings. So I'm sure you guys have plenty of questions about them, and I'll just wait to kind of hear what you guys have to say.
What's your expectations for the transfers you brought in, specifically Miranda?
For her, it's to complement Kelly and Morgan Day, and to help Tatum grow, and for them to become the best staff that we can ever have. It's the most talented set of arms that we've ever had here, maybe in our history here. And I can't speak for Michelle Smith and Lauren Bay days. I wasn't here, or Melanie Roche. I wasn't here during those days. Kind of go back and try to learn, but I don't know the rosters. I mean, I was a baseball guy then, so it's kind of hard to know that stuff. But I'll just go ahead and say it's probably the best staff that we've ever had here as far as talent goes. So her job is to come in here and be the best version of her. Like, she doesn't have to be anybody else. She's never had this type of support around her, I can tell you that. So she doesn't have to be the horse. We have a horse here, okay? And Kelly's that. And Morgan Day's been a horse. And Miranda's been a horse. So it comes down to coaching. How do we use them? How do we utilize their skill sets the very best? And so she just has to be her. And then on the offensive side, she's got to earn her way in the lineup, and she knows that. It's probably been the one thing that hasn't come back quite as fast yet. It's coming better each day, but the pitching is probably a little bit farther ahead of that. So she's going to get plenty of opportunities, and so I just need her to be the best version of herself.
Hey, Kenny, as it relates to pitching, I mean, you know there was a day and time in softball when there was one on every staff, and they rode her to the end.
Yeah.
When do you think that started to change? And, you know, now we've seen national championship teams and contenders,
Yeah.
They have multiple pitchers. When did you see that changing, and how important is it to have 3 or 4 now?
Well, I think when it really started to change was, you know, the offense has really obviously improved in probably the last 10 years, I would say. And so you get to OKC and you play these double headers that have been wild. We've kind of got that stuff changed now, so it's a great thing. But you just can't survive anymore with those kids. If you got stuck in a loser's bracket, a number 2 had to emerge. So I think we've all taken notice of that over probably the last, I don't know, I've been in, this is my 10th year now in softball, which is wild. But I think, you know, probably 5 to 6 years, you've really seen a major change in that, where you just need more. I tell you too, like, the pitching's not as specialized as what it was. I can remember being a young kid taking lessons, you know, back when I was on the West Coast, and I saw girls, like, that's all they did was pitch. You know, I mean, pitch. Now it's like, I think pitching has kind of gone down across our board, because kids aren't really willing to put the work in like they have been in the past. So when you get like our staff, when you get a Maxwell and a Day and a Nellish, a Clopton, a kid who lives, eats, sleeps, pitching, you know, you have to be in love with pitching, and you have to be in love with this work that, like, nobody sees. And unfortunately, our society's changed, where we have to show everybody what we're doing in order to be out there and to get social media followers and everything that seems to be important to us or to these kids. And so I think it's just changed. And so you've seen that there hasn't been just crazy dominant arms. And I think it really comes down to working. You know, there are still some great ones out there. We've got them here. But they're just not as abundant. And so there's better coaching. There's more resources that have gone into offense. All the stuff that we're doing here, it's wild. The money that we spend, we're getting into this all into the data now, analytical side, which we've never done. You know, schools like OU have. I think you can see why they're progressing. They're progressing our game. And we need it. It's great, but I think we've just gotten better. The ball is hotter. The bat is better. That doesn't necessarily help an arm. You know, that helps a hitter. You know what I mean? And so it's just, I think everything is. We know from a marketing standpoint, nobody wants to watch a 1-0 game. So we've found ways to make it better, but we need to make sure that we continue the pitching, because nobody wants to see a 12-10 game too.
How do you feel about all the analytics and data with pitching? Is that something you want to get into in the future, or do you like to keep it kind of not as focused on that?
Well, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I didn't want it, and now I'm in the middle of all of it. I have a couple of assistants that don't love it, but I think I've got a couple other ones that really do like it and are able to show me that there's some value. There's some real value in this, and so I like it and I want it. And I want to, if there's one thing that can help Kelly or Haley or Sydney, they're all here. If there's one thing that could help them, I want to show them that and give them that. I don't want to cloud their minds or turn them into robots. We take a lot of pride in not being that here, but I think we're being kind of arrogant if we decide to not use it and not take a look. And so sometimes you just have to grow. You just have to be willing to see new things, and we pride ourselves on that. And why we wouldn't do that on this, it's kind of arrogant. So we've jumped in. We've made some purchases. Some have been good, some have been poor, but I liken that to a learning curve. You got to invest some cash to learn, and we've done that. And I think we're very close to kind of fine-tuning exactly what we want and what's going to help us the very most. So I think there's a lot of value in all of it.
For Morgan Day, having that opportunity to settle into the team during the fall season, what did you see in her then?
She's just a worker. She loves to play. She's the most talkative player I've ever been around in my whole life. Sometimes you just sit there and just go, man, zip it for a while. But can't change that, right? That's who that kid is, and I love it, and I think our team does too. And what I love about her is she walked in here the first day, and she made her presence felt. She just invested in all of our new kids, right away. Didn't hesitate, didn't peek through a door. She knocked the door down as she walked in a very respectful way. And she has the respect of her team. She's a tireless worker. She loves this school. Obviously, with Hunter playing on the football team, she's very invested there. So it's really cool to see that and to have people that can come in here and just jump in, and she's done that. She's earned a role like all of our kids have, and she's going to be a huge impact. And it's really cool to see. It's just really cool that we've got this opportunity for kids like her to come in here. Haley's the same way. Haley, it may have taken a little bit longer to kind of feel comfy, but for Morgan Day, it was boom, she just walked in, and from what I can tell, she just feels good and she's performed well.
You've had success over the last few years with transfers coming in and being really impactful players, but all along that time, you've also had Kylie and Cheyenne and Sydney, players that you recruited out of high school.
Yeah.
What are those players that have been with the program since they came to you out of high school? What is their value?
Well, you have to have it. I mean, that's the. I don't want to cry, so this is. We can't survive on the portal. I mean, the portal for us has become a tool. Whether we've been good at it or not, that's for all of you guys to talk through. But we're going to continue to use it because it's an important tool. It's there. The rules state that we can use it. So I'm going to use it until we don't need it or whatever it is. But you have to have these kids like Penningtons and Naomi's and Factors and Alexanders. You have to have them. I mean, these are kids that in the Oklahoma kids, I mean, this is where they've thought about their whole life. As young kids, it was either OSU or OU, right? That's the first two that those kids think about first. For Pennington, she'll go down as one of the greatest players ever here, and it has nothing to do with the numbers. It has everything to do with taking a chance, sticking it out, totally dusting off the tradition that was had just gotten old and tired and not spoken about. And we had a run there where there were about 10 years after Sandy left where there was maybe one good year. And it's sad. It's sad for our school that we didn't invest and recognize that. We just lessons learned. It's sad for all those kids who were here that didn't get to experience what these kids are experiencing now. It's life. It's the ebbs and flows of how programs go. But like I told Sid, I said, if you'll just give us this chance, we'll make it good. I can't like spell it out. I can't like tell you exactly how it'll work, but I know that when we write the story, it'll be really good and it'll be successful. And I need you to take a little bit of risk. Like Coach Holder says, you got to put some skin in, and I'll put some skin in, and you'll put some in here, and if we all are willing to do that, things will happen well. And we never really talked about where and how and what. We just said, hey, let's just don't worry about that. Let's just do everything right. Let's do everything to the best of our abilities each day. Let's kind of define what the standards are, and let's never be below that. And here it is. And we're not where we want to be. As far as being in that last game, winning that last game. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that we do every day here that we're right where we want to be and where we want to stay. And I think that's probably the most important thing when you start talking about those type of kids, that they stuck around for the right reasons. And I think you can ask them, but I think they probably had 4 or 5 of the best years of their entire life. And that's really, in the end, that's what my job is.
Kenny, you referenced at the top how good you feel like this team is, but you also referenced the fact that this state has 2 of the probably best 3, 5 college softball teams in America right now. Obviously, you all, like you said, you had to resurrect where the program was to get to this point. But how much do you feel like having the Women's College World Series down the road? I mean, some of the things that are happening around you has helped. I mean, it had to happen, obviously, I know, within the walls. But how has all that played together in your mind to get you guys into this position right now?
Well, I mean, I think it's a big part of the puzzle. When you put all these pieces together, I would much rather have OKC right here than being on the West Coast. It's a constant reminder when we drive down I-35 to go play, the Texas schools or whatever it is that we're going to. We pass right by it. We've had a couple years where we've just driven our bus in there and circled the park and just gone out and not even said anything, just kind of, hey, here it is. So I think that's a huge deal. I think it's our responsibility as well to grow it. And we need to get better over there. We need to continue to make it the best thing. We're starting to make some really good rule changes. We're starting to invest more. We need to be a part of making it the best event that softball ever sees. And I'm committed, if they want us to be more involved, we want to be more involved. I think we should be. I think both of our schools should host that thing in a way that nobody can touch it. And so it's a huge deal, and I love it. I love that we get to play the Big 12 tournament there. We wouldn't change that. When we were bringing the tournament back, we had one Texas school, I won't say which one, that wanted to move it to Texas. And we all kind of raised our eyes like, why would we move this anywhere but OKC? Yes, is there an advantage to OU or OSU? Yes, probably so if you get to that final game. But why wouldn't you want to, if your end game goal is to be in OKC and win that last game, why wouldn't you want to put your kids in that stadium as much as you could? So I think it's huge. I think it's great. And I think what it really does is it really exposes the truth that Oklahoma is one of the top states for softball as well. There's a lot of talent that comes out of here. We're probably a top 7 or 8 state for sure when you look at talent, and the way it's coming out of here and the way it's across the country. And D1, 2, 3, NAI, I mean, there's some really good softball played here and a lot of good high school kids that come out of here. So I think that says a lot about what we have, what we do. Are we perfect? No. Do we need to get better? Yes. Do I think we need to play spring softball? Yes. Do I think we need the slow pitch game? Probably not, but it's okay. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I know there's probably people that will cringe when they hear that, but like I don't know that it's helping those kids in this game. You know, I'd like to see them play other sports. Would be really nice too. You know, they don't get a break here. This travel ball stuff's nonsense. The way we do so much of it, they don't ever get a break. There's a lot of great things, and having this thing in OKC is huge.
Sure was, not to sound like disrespectful, but I don't know if when you first got here, you know, Oklahoma City was necessarily expected. But the way you've developed players, the way you brought kids in the portal is, and based on the last 2 full seasons, is Oklahoma City kind of expected moving forward?
You're gonna have to ask them. I mean, I would, you know, I'll speak for me. Yeah, yes, like that. That's the expectation, and it's not getting to OKC. It was getting to OKC our first years. That's not the expectation. I think, from my perspective, I personally would say that not being in that last game would be a disappointment. Now, I can live with that because as long as they've done everything and we've done everything in our power to put ourselves in that spot, then you just live with whatever comes. But the expectation for this team is to be in that final game. And so, yeah, I don't think it was that when we got here. But it wasn't being talked through. You know what I mean? And you have to just talk through that, you know, that kind of stuff. I wouldn't have said that to our first team because we weren't capable. They're just, you can, you know, Cinderella's story or not. I mean, we got to Georgia and forced a NIF game. I mean, we were literally 21 outs from being in a super regional in our first year. I mean, I think that was probably a Cinderella story. So it is what it is. We've taken the right steps, and I would think that the expectation of these kids, and you have to ask them, is to be in OKC every year, for sure.
Sorry. You mentioned pitchers who eat, sleep, breathe their craft. What have you noticed about Miranda since she's gotten here?
Fun kid, getting to know her. Her teammates could probably give you a little more insight because they're around her a lot, but she's committed to this group. I tell you, the one thing that impresses me is how she's been an ace everywhere she's ever been, and she doesn't. You'd have to ask Kelly this, but in my opinion, she respects Kelly as the ace here. That's how I feel, at least. I haven't seen anything other than that. She hasn't walked around here acting like she's too hot to be around here. You know, she kind of had an emotional speech at our banquet. I think she's just really excited to be part of this team and to be part of the puzzle. And so she's does her work. She's gotten to know her teammates, I think, from what I can tell. They have some inside jokes and stuff like that I don't really know all about. So I think they're probably having fun and doing all that stuff that teams ought to do. And nicknames and things like that you get when you're vulnerable and just yourself. So she's doing everything that I would expect her to do. And again, her message from me from day one is, you don't have to be anybody but you. Don't try to show us your superpowers. Like, just be the best version of you. And she's done that.
She can probably speak to this best herself, but from when you were bringing her here and recruiting her to get to day one, what do you think brought her back for another season of softball?
Well, I think I mean, when you go around the country, and you can chalk this up to any sport. And I was talking about this with my family after the banquet on Saturday night. I can't recall a lot of college athletes walking away at the very, very top of their game. And you'd have to, a lot of you guys write about teams and sports, so you guys would know more. But I just can't come up with a lot of names that just walk away when you're a top 5 player in the country. Just doesn't happen very often. So I look at that and go, okay, there's more to the story. Okay, so if you're willing to dive in and kind of get to know people and kind of find out what those things are and why, you start to peel some layers back and you start to maybe be able to help or figure out what that is. So for her, it's just missing this, like she said, being an adult wasn't all it was cracked up to be, having a job, and it just wasn't giving her the fulfillment that she had hoped or that she was escaping to. Maybe that's what it was. She was escaping to something that she really wasn't ready for, and really when she got into it didn't want to go there, but she was there. And so you start to go, I heard her say in her speech, I didn't know if anybody would want me. I mean, okay, well, I think everybody did, okay? And so you just kind of start to go through all that. So, as a young adult, it's scary. And so it's like, well, could I get back in? Could I just be a part of this one more time? And maybe that would kind of close that door. And so I commend her for doing that. And, we've worked hard with transfers. I knew when we talked the first time, she told me, hey, I've got other trips, but unless something goes bad there, like, this is where I want to be. And I said, take other trips, like, do them. I don't care, because I know if you'll come here, you'll love it. And I knew when she left here that she was coming here, and it was pretty cool. And so I just think for her, she just had to go through tough times and go through life and go, man, I don't want to give up on this yet. And I hope that this is just the beginning for her to keep playing and playing for a different purpose. I think for all of these kids, you play this game for so long, whether you play softball or baseball or whatever. If you don't learn that this game doesn't define you, then you're in a bad place. But if you just learn that, like, you're defined by other things, not by your sport, and if you really can get through all that, you start to enjoy it more, I think. And you start to go, man, I've got a bigger purpose here. Like, I got kids that are looking up to me. I've got another year to create memories and moments that we have donors here that would pay millions to go through across the country. And you can't buy it. Like, you just can't. You can't buy this. Like, it's just organic, and it's earned. It's not a right. It's a privilege. And so I think when you miss that, somebody like herself that missed that to her core, find the right place. You're a little more seasoned. You know what you're looking for, and you find it, and you go, and you just jump in and go, and she's done that.
It's not a new stadium, but how beneficial will the stadium improvements be for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, we won't have any more rainouts. Be able to practice every day on our field. The fence won't fall over anymore. We won't have wall pads that fall off our field while we're playing the number one team in the country and beating them, and wall pads are falling off and we're having to stop a game. So that's all stuff that was crazy. The fence is going to look awesome. The field, will be, it's going to be turf, so it'll be a new learning curve there with, a dirt infield. So our dirt will give our ground crew, who's the best in the country, to take care of a field, and be able to, it's built right. But in all essence, it's just helping us get through, because it's not enough. You know what I mean? It's really not enough. And we need to keep jumping in. We need a new stadium. That's coming. Everybody here knows that. So I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. We need more seats. That's a major problem. We have a major issue when I talk to people and they're like, man, we'd really love to come watch you play, but we can't get seats. And I'm like, the story, we got to do a better job of telling the story. Just show up. We'll get you in. You know, there's standing room seats. Well, everybody doesn't want to stand. Well, truthfully, not everybody always comes, even though you have a ticket, right, or a season seat, so you can find a seat. So we got to tell that story, but we need more, and we just need to continue to grow. So I'm very thankful and appreciative that we spent this money we needed to. We've needed to since my first year. We were going to have things done a couple years back, and then COVID hit, and it just like stopped. That was a frustrating thing for more reasons than one, right? But we're doing it. It's almost done. It's going to be awesome. It's going to look great. It's going to look great on TV. The way we've branded this thing, I think it'll be the best branded facility that we have here. To be very honest, when you see it, you're going to be like, whoa, it's going to look nice. But I am not committed to that being the end. I can tell you that now. I'm committed for us to find the right donor or donors to jump in here to help make these girls experience the very best, like the O'Braits have over there at the baseball field, and that's the standard. And so there's no reason that our kids shouldn't have the exact same thing, and that's not a knock on anyone. That's just, you know, hey, it takes time here. It takes time at any school, and we know that, and we know where we are in line, and we know we're close. So I'm excited. I hope it gives people some vision, some happiness, some want to jump in and really be involved with this team.
With the administration flipping over, have the new stadium talks, have they had to reset, or is it kind of just a continuation with Weiberg and Trump?
Yeah, it's just kept going. It's probably more out there, I would say now, you know, and that's just kind of because of time. You know, it's gaining more traction. You know, I think we've engaged a big firm to kind of do a master plan. I don't know how much of that's out there, so I probably ought to stop. But that's going on, right? So I got to think that softball is right up there at the top of that. I mean, I know that I'm very aware that football needs improvement. We got to have it. I mean, I'm very aware that they have to be good for us to be good. It's huge. I mean, we need that. We need them to do what they just did over and over again. It's a huge deal. In recruiting, it's huge. We need Coach Boynton to get through everything that he's going through to help. It's just, you get experiences like we had on Saturday here. It's recruiting. It's wild. Track needs an indoor. Wrestling grossly needs improvements. So I'm very aware of all this stuff. And so I understand that it's not just about us. If I was 35, I'd probably be saying some dumb things. But 50, I get it. You know what I mean? But we need it, and we need to keep going. Dr. Schramm, I think you've seen a different type of leadership. President Hargis was awesome in everything that he did here. It's just crazy to see our president at every event I'm at. She's there. I mean, every single event. It's wild. And she sat at our banquet for 3.5 hours this Saturday. It was wild. That's never happened. And to have that kind of support, I think only enhances what our supporters need to see to know that we're all in from the very top.
You mentioned all the arms you had earlier. How important does John's job become this season with all the different girls that you guys could throw out there?
Yeah, I'm glad it's not me. He's great. So, you know, he's just so good and so calm and helps me think in some different ways. And I think we've been good for him too. Help him think in some different ways, resourceful. You know, we have things that he's never had. So we're getting him to use some of that stuff. And but his brain is really good. He can recall things that it's just wild. So he's got some really good experience on his hands, on his side. You know, he can look down there and feel pretty good about who's there. We've talked about all kinds of scenarios and possibilities and things that how do we utilize this staff the very best. So done some great stuff. I'm excited about. I'm sure he's excited about his options.
Have we seen Brianna Evans progress since fall ball?
Yeah. She's a stud. I mean, she unseated Carly, pretty early, not out of the lineup, but just to our outfield. We keep them both there a lot, but she's kind of taken that spot over as of right now. But she's just a special kid, talented, great off our field, great in the clubhouse. She's just an amazing talent that has learned at an early age that softball does not define her. And I think it's what really helps her perform and progress as she goes. So talented kid.
Kenny, you don't have to fill out a lineup card until Thursday, I know, but do you have a defensive alignment in mind, what you're going to put out on the field?
Yeah, I think, we're going to roll out that first night as long as everything, everybody's healthy. You would see Kelly, Julia behind home plate, Pennington at third, Naomi at short, Evans at second, Morgan Wynn at first, Busby in right, Cheyenne in center field, and Petty in left. And then Chelsea would be the DP as of right now. Chelsea and Haley are kind of going to flip some time to see who kind of progresses the very best in right field. Richburg's a really good replacement defensively at first or outfield. We kind of shoved her back out there just in case we needed that. She seems to do some things well there. You've got Tuck fighting to get at bats and catch. She'll catch a lot, especially in these first 20 games. Julia, I would say that Julia and Factor have probably been the top two hitters since we've been back. So it's been kind of a wild thing. I mean, we've been really good with our bats, but those and just numbers wise and things that they've done have been really good. Haley's been good, Sydney's been good, Bree's been good, Petty's been okay, but had a great fall. She's just a slow starter. Chelsea's been kind of awful, but she's usually awful this time of year, to be very honest. And I've learned to not panic on that. She puts so much pressure on herself I think she's been the underdog for so long. She just puts so much ridiculous pressure on herself to start so good. And so I just kind of not even talking about it, but she'll be right there. So Richburg needs those at bats too. Carwile's been really, really good. So we've got about 14 kids that I've got to do a good job. I've already talked to some of these kids in this room about, hey, we're going to pinch hit some. If you're not going well, we may just go ahead and just hit, because I got kids that have earned at bats and need to hit. So don't be upset. You don't lost your job, but we're going to get some people at bats. And we haven't always done the best job of that in the past, but we haven't had this type of depth.
Coach, what's the story been about getting Julia back to Stillwater? What was that like?
I mean, I think I knew last year in OKC that things weren't just peachy. And I didn't have those discussions with her, but I saw it. My wife was one of them that saw it too. And maybe your glass is half full. You're looking at things, and she's up there in the stands, and she's wearing our stuff to support her dad and a lot of these kids, because she's close to a lot of them. And I saw it. I saw a joy that I don't think that she was having at her previous school. It became very difficult, probably, a couple weeks into the real talks, because I'm dealing with one of my friends. You know what I mean? We never talked, never called him. I didn't think it was my spot. It was unique. He didn't call me, so we just kind of let it go. You know what I mean? And then you've got Jeff. You know what I mean? And so, Jeff came to me and said, "Hey, here we go." And I'm like, "Oh crap, we got a problem. It's a good problem." You know what I mean? And so she's really happy. I can tell you that. And in the end, I think any coach, if you're in this for the right reasons, all you want is for your kids that you coach to be happy. And if they're not happy at your place, you got to get them out. You got to find out where they can be happy, because they'll never perform the way they should unless they're happy. I can just tell you that, especially with a female athlete, that's a big deal. Guys, I don't know, but I think that's even changing with guys too. I really do. I think we have always had that stereotype of guys are tougher, and that it's not true. These are the most powerful people on the planet for sure. And I think for her, she just had a hard first year. And I'm not going to tell you that she wasn't part of that hard. You know what I mean? There's a two-way deal. I mean, kids have to go through things, make some mistakes, learn. She's not void of that. You know what I mean? And I'm not void of talking about that. She caused some of her own problems, but there's a reason why. I mean, we all act out for different reasons, and for her, there was, I'm sure, some happiness stuff that didn't work out. I've talked to her a lot about stuff, but I didn't need to go into all the history. What I needed to do was to start from right now and go, hey, what do we got to do to get you back to being you? And that's the commitment that I've got. And if you still think you love this game, and I know you love OSU and Stillwater, if that's what you want, then let's go. And if it's not, then we'll help you find the right place. And I had a feeling it wouldn't take long. It didn't. She wanted to be here. And I know she's living at home. That's not where she wants to be, like any college kid. But I think it's probably a good thing for her to really get her to appreciate everything that your parents are, and they do. So it'll be a really good learning experience for her again. And, she's handled everything well. You have to ask her teammates here what they think, because they're around her way more than I am. But from what I can tell, she's a leader on our field. Her voice carries. She commanded respect the first day she walked in, by the way she plays and hits balls like Busby does and Pennington does there. It's a different kind of sound when it comes off the bat. She's an adrenaline junkie like Elish. So it's kind of interesting to get two of those type of kids here at the break. They're competitors, man, and it's just enhanced this whole team.
I know you use a lot of different catchers. During fall ball. What's it like having Julia behind the plate?
Well, you've got a kid that has 2 years of catching in the SEC, played in some big games, right? Has close to a 300 average. We haven't had a catcher hit that in my time here besides Vanessa, but I wouldn't really call her a catcher, just doing her job. So to be able to get this type of offense out of that spot will really be good. She has the best arm I've ever seen, ever coached. So that's a huge deal. So her catching has been solid. It hasn't been great yet. She's catching a bunch of new kids, so that's tough. But she's walked in here and done great. Tuck, I will tell you the best thing that's ever happened to Tuck is that Julia's here. Her game has improved in the last month and a half. It's improved. Okay, her catching has always been really good. Her arm is probably her weakness. Part of that is she just battles an arm issue, and it just has good days and it has bad days. Okay, so there's no fixing that at this point in time. So, but her offense is improved. Her leadership is improved. Her quickness, her sense of urgency, it's been great for her. So, not that she's probably thrilled always, but her and Julia have been friends for a long time. They played in the same team in high school. So, it's been great for her as well. So just having that depth, I mean, losing Audrey was a big blow to us, because I would tell you that when she went down, she had probably, at that point, was probably our number one catcher, had beat out Tuck. So that was scary. Everything just worked out, but it's nice to have depth.
You mentioned Morgan Wynn at first base. I know back in the fall she talked about kind of her leadership experience, not just on the field, but off with the student leadership and NCAA leadership and all that. How do you think that kind of contributes to the team dynamic?
Yeah, she's a great kid, and she's coming into a program that is established, and on the field, I don't really think she's been the best version of her yet. What we've seen. I mean, don't get that wrong. Like, she's a starter. She's won that job. But like, it just shows you, like, no matter who you are, no matter how good you were at your previous school, when you come into a program the way these kids have elevated this program, the status across the country, perception, these kids try really hard, and trying hard is a bad deal. When you try too hard, like I always tell them, I told them since my first year, we can get monkeys at the zoo to try. Like, we can teach them to try. But like, just relaxing and playing and being you is hard, especially when you're in a new environment. You know what I mean? It's just really hard. And she's just now, since we've been back, has kind of been normal. It's been great, and she's been playing well and performing well. The off the field stuff is incredible. It takes a lot of time, and I constantly ask her about, make sure that you're not getting overwhelmed, and if you need help, ask. But she seems to handle it well. She's doing good in school. It's a real interesting thing for our team, because we have more kids that are showing up to SAC and doing things. I've even been to a SAC meeting that I've never gone to in my 7 years here. I showed up at my first one because she asked me, and I was like, yeah, I'll go. And then I show up, and Coach Boynton's there, and I was like, whoa, I was shocked. I was like, I need to come to this. She's just been a huge asset. I'm glad we get her for 2 years. I think that we can really help her. She needs work on things as well. All these girls do. We bring these girls in here as young ladies and girls, and our goal is to get them out of here as these powerful women that can do anything that they want to do. Never told no. You don't accept no. Like, if you want this, go get it. And so she's learning that way with us, and I'm excited about it. And she's a cool kid. Really like her a lot. She's a kid that when she walks in and she's smiling, she's loud. We have two of the loudest kids on our team are brand new. It's Morgan Day and her. They've just walked in and been like loud from day one. Like, they walk in, it's like, whoop, Morgan's are here. Jules Callahan is another loud kid. But it's funny, like, it's like, who can be the loudest? And their energy is infectious. Morgan's just been an awesome kid, and I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her for what she stands up for. I'm proud of her for what she's helped us to learn about different things. It's been pretty cool. It's pretty cool when you get kids like this. And the greatest thing about our program that I hope that people see is you can be you here. It needs to be respectful, but you can be you here. And we're not gonna force you into a mold. Make your own mold. Okay, just be respectful to your teammates and OSU and Stillwater and our state. And if you do all that, I'm all in.
You're a turf guy, lawn guy, have some experience. I'm just wondering, does the installation of turf, does that change anything when you're actually playing the game?
We chose a turf that is going to play more like grass. We went and tested the turf out. It doesn't bounce crazy. When the ball hits it, it slows down, doesn't speed up, which turf normally does. So this plays like when the ball hits it and hits a gap, it's not going to like speed up and change. It's got a pad that's underneath it. It's about 30 to 40 degrees cooler because of the way it's infilled. There's no rubber. So that'll be an interesting thing. I think it's really coming on very strong. I'm very proud of our athletic department because it did cost more. And when you're sitting there going, hey, we could be in a new stadium in 3 to 5 years, fingers crossed, right? Like if everything goes great, like, do we want to spend another 80, 90, 100 grand on the turf? You know what I mean? And for us to do that, I think tells you that we're committed to doing what's best for our student athletes. I've heard little things that, you know, we may do it on the football field or the indoor when we replace those because they kind of like what they see and have kind of learned. So we'll see where all that goes. But turf doesn't bother me. You know, there's a couple things like, do I want grass? Yeah. When we build a new stadium, probably like to have grass, and then I'd like to have a turf practice field like baseball has. Okay. I don't want anything more than what baseball has, just the same. So maybe we can have a grass field and then a turf field over here. Okay, so, but I think the time of year we're doing the installation, turf was the only way. This makes sense if we want to investigate what's best for the next phase, okay? And if we can get a field that performs more like grass and is cooler, those are the two complaints about turf that you hear most. So I'm excited about it. It's going to look recruit ready every day. That's kind of cool. You know what I mean? No matter what time of year, it's going to look phenomenal. So that's a part I love.
The construction time period cause any difficulties, or were you able to do it mostly when you weren't going to be using the field?
No, I mean, it's been a pain in our butt. When we haven't been on our field since we've been back, and the weather's been phenomenal, except 3 days. 4 days. I mean, we've been at Stillwater High I say a bunch, 4 or 5 times. We've used our indoor a bunch. We've used Alley P. You know, we've turned that grass into a softball field, used the wall the best that we can. We've kind of pushed it out. So no excuses. I mean, but we haven't been on dirt, but we actually went to a local high school and inter-squatted. We got on a bus. I mean, it was real. I mean, it was probably a $2,000 day or more when you really think about how much it cost for us to practice one day because we needed to get on dirt and play on a real field, you know, and so we got that. So that was kind of cool. So it is what it is. No excuses.
Anything else for Coach guys? Actually, I got one. So you talked about Elish and you talked about Julia. And it sounded like it's fulfillment and happiness, you know, maybe was part of their equation for coming here. What does it say about kind of like the intangibles of the group that you have, that they see them and how they act, and then also the group that you have, how they've maybe impacted the larger DNA of the program?
Well, this is a player-run program. I can tell you that. Like, yeah, do the coaches make the final say? Yes, but for instance, with Elish, I went to Kelly. I think John actually talked to her first. He just kind of got her at the right time and just said, hey, we're thinking about this. What do you think? I had the same talk. Like, I just said, hey, I value what you think. I value the commitment that you've made to us. So, like, I'm curious what you think. It's going to matter when we kind of go down this path. And Kelly was very honest, you know, with John at first and just said, hey, like, look, I'm all about this team and winning. She goes, but I do want to have the legitimate shot to be an ace and to be an all-American, I think is what she told John. And I was like, love it. And so my talk to her, when I talked to her, was like, I think it really enhances your ability to do that because you've earned that. You've got a couple of things that you need to do to probably get that last respect. One of those is just finishing games. She knows that. That wasn't like anything she didn't know. But this kid is capable of being, Kelly's capable of being whatever she wants, and it's evident. So it's kids like that we have respect for, that we can go to them and say, what do you think? And then it's when they come in, I have the same talk with all of our team in front of them. It's like, hey, don't forget we have some new people here. Don't forget we have these freshmen here. Don't forget them. They need help. Like, they're not going to ask. They're scared. They're anxious. They're worried. They not sleeping well before 6 a.m. because they're afraid their alarm won't go off. Like, that's a real fear that everyone has, okay? And so it's just grab those kids and talk to them, make sure that they're good. And so that's the health of our program, is that we have those kids, that they do that. They care about this program. They care about the long-term sustainability of this program, repeatable success. And if they don't like things, they usually come tell me. And I don't think, you can probably talk to Haley, because she's been in a different school. I don't think she had that ability at her previous school, or felt like she could, or even an Elish or a Julia. I bet you they didn't feel that, okay? And so, sometimes I have to hear things I don't really want to hear, to be very honest, but that's the commitment I've made. You got to take the good and bad. Okay, there's a lot of good things I get to hear too, when they're thankful and they come in and say thank you for adjusting this. Okay, and so it's just part of it. So I just think we're healthy, and it tells you everything that you need to know about our program, that we can bring in a kid at the break and they can fit in and just be them. And so it makes me very happy.
Everything that you just described, when you first got into coaching, is this like what you envisioned, like this is what you wanted it to be like?
No. No, it's really weird. My time at Florida changed everything for me. Probably my 1 year at Tennessee with the baseball team there probably helped me, because I got to see things from such a different perspective as the director of ops. But going to Florida, like, Tim didn't need me to coach. Like, he's one of the best coaches in the country. But he whatever he needed, he never exactly told me, but I morphed into this guy in the cages that, like, was talking everybody off the cliff. You know what I mean? And like, constantly checking on them, constantly sending texts, taking them out to ice cream, whatever it is that you need to do to just get them to calm down and chill out and understand through our perspective, through our lens, like, it's not as bad as you think. You know what I mean? It's just how you took it. So as I'm going through those 3 years there, I was like, man, I just need to be me. That's really my strength. And being me, being the best version of me, is the same thing I preach to these guys. Just be the best version of them. And I say this a lot. I'm the third or fourth best coach on this team, but I'm the best people guy. And that's what I'm gonna continue to be. And I've been able to hire the best staff in the country and let them do their job. And I still miss some things. I miss, like, I'm the last person that a lot of these kids go to at times. Not all of them, but like, I used to be the first one, and I miss that part of it. So that part sucks. But you just morph into what it is and not lose what you're good at, and put people around you. It's become very important to me that I'm understanding who the people are that we hire and what they do best and what they don't, and help them grow, and then use their strengths to their very best, and pick up where I have to. And I love it. I love managing. I love assembling. It's like it makes my heart beat. I just love to assemble people, and I love taking risk. I love risk. I don't know why. I don't. I look back and go, ooh, man, why did we do that? but it worked. And so I love that. I think they feel the same thing. It's different. It's different here. I don't know why. It's not that it's better. It's just our kids that we've got here, it fits them. And so, you know, I thought I was going to be this hard ass X's and O's. This is the way it's always been done. And now I'm like, I don't care the way it's always been done, because it's not the best way now. And I sometimes cringe. You know, I mean, when Sam Shaw when she flipped that bat, my mentor called me and goes, "How do you let her flip her bat?" And I'm like, "You don't get it. Like, you need to hear what I've got to say, and I respect the heck out of you, but you need to hear what I've got to say, and then you can say what you want to say." And I told him, and he goes, "Okay, I get it." And I said, it's different, and he's really helped me evolve. Watching him go through some struggles, he helped me evolve in a lot of this stuff. And he's the best baseball guy I've ever been around in my entire life. And so to watch him evolve helped me to evolve and turn me into who I've become. And I'll get better on the softball, but I don't want to lose my personal skill and that kind of stuff, because I think that's where I can really help our kids.